あっちにも、こっちにも、ほら、そっちにも。街には海外からの観光客が急増中。アメリカから日本の美味しいものが食べたいとやってきた二人連れはお好み焼きに初挑戦。作って食べてその味に大満足。
That's really good. I like that. I like that a lot. I'd have to say, for me personally, it's like a 90. I put 95. I put 95.
アメリカからやってきたアニメ好きの女性はおばあちゃんと2人で初来日。念願の日本旅行、プリントシールでおばあちゃんとパチリ。その出来栄えにご満悦。
Onsen girls. Eyes are very big on this one.
Really fun. We were giggling the whole time.
そしてラーメン好きのカナダ人旅行者は初のつけ麺にトライ。
It's very different when it comes to the flavor, right? In Tsukemen, I feel like the broth enhances the flavor of the noodles so much more. I'm gonna do it. It has a nice, rich flavor.
さらにその値段にも大感激。
I think in Canada that would be for one person.
That would be for one person.
One person that price.
外国人観光客に密着したら我々が知らなかった日本の魅力が見えてきた。はーい、外国人ようこそ日本へ。あれやらこれやらなんだか面白いよ。はーい、外国人ようこそ日本へ。東京渋谷のハチ公前に長蛇の列。2009年公開のリチャード・ギア主演映画をきっかけにファンの聖地となったこの場所。10年以上経った今でも多くの外国人観光客が訪れています。そして秋葉原にも漫画やアニメ好きの観光客が続々。フランスから来たカップルはアニメグッズを大量購入しております。
My Hero Academia.
Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia.
Chainsaw.
I think we search around Akihabara around for cheap.
Less than 10,000 yen.
Yeah.
Just one in France. Just one is 500. Five times the price.
We made a good choice to.
こちらのカナダ人観光客は日本のコンビニに感動したとか。
Definitely is the price of everything. Much less expensive.
Less expensive.
You think like triangle things? It's like
There was a salmon and salt. Great.
same quality as you get at a restaurant. If we had food in our convenience stores, it's much less.
あっちのコンビニで食べるともっと美味しくて、もっとこんなに新鮮じゃない。もっとすごい古い。
Like we have sandwiches and stuff, but they're like
No one trusts the sandwiches.
そして多くの外国人が足を止めて写真を撮っていた場所はと言いますと、一見何の変哲もない街並みに見えますが、外国の人にはとても珍しいようで。
It looks very pretty. I like how the colors.
フランスから来たこちらの男性も。
Here because all the buildings around are very little. There's no so much advertisements in the streets. Not so big.
まあ私たちにとって当たり前の景色も外国人には新鮮に映るようです。こちらは原宿にあるお好み焼きの店。入り口で外国人に遭遇。ハロー。どちらからいらっしゃったんですか？
So from America, Michigan, and
Alabama. Yeah, we went to high school together.
高校の同級生。
And then also college.
Oh, also college?
高校からずっと一緒の仲良し二人連れ。初めての日本旅行です。
Yes, yeah. One of the biggest reasons we came to Japan was for the food.
first is okonomiyaki.
日本の美味しいものをとにかくたくさん食べたいと 10日間の食い倒れ旅を計画。彼らのスマホにはこれまで挑戦してきたさまざまな食べ物の写真が。
Oh yeah, it's like a
Oh, tamagoyaki.
You don't ever get like a solid egg in America.
It's usually like cooked and then you just
Or
cut
over
it out.
easy.
そんな中、SNS でお好み焼きを見つけ、一度食べてみたいとこの店にやってきました。でも、
Okay. Yeah. Does normally someone come up to order?
これどうやって注文したらいいのかわからない。
Oh, you hit the button. Oh, okay. All right, so I guess we're just ready.
Yeah.
Just one time is enough.
Okay. It didn't light up or anything, so we were convenient.
Yeah. I like that more because a lot of times when you're in America, you'll be eating, you'll be in the middle of a conversation, somebody will just come out of nowhere to like try to get your order. Yeah.
自分のタイミングで注文ができるこのシステム、アメリカにもあればいいのにと大感動。早速お好み焼き作りを開始。
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to like, so it's like that. I don't know how much you have to put on there.
まあちょっと多かったけど油をひいて具材をかき混ぜる。そしていよいよ鉄板へ。
Oh, okay. Put the bacon on here. Okay, that's what it says on the thing. You crying?
Yeah.
Hard.
Okay.
Hard.
Do I also do the same?
It looks done. Yes. So okay, so. There it is.
いや見事大成功、お上手です。でもちょっと焦げてないかい？問題は残された卵。作り方の説明を見ても卵の使い方がわからない。
What does that mean? It says like, yeah. So it says spread it out in a circle.
The egg. The egg.
Place the egg. No.
Oh, you put it on top of the egg. Right?
Oh, you put it on the egg.
It's like a pancake.
Yeah.
で結局。
Oh, like an omelet. Okay. So it's like okay.
Oh.
さあこの上にお好み焼きを乗せて焼けば OK なんですが、混ぜてスクランブルエッグに、そして焼けた生地を皿に盛り付けて、最後にスクランブルエッグを乗せて一応完成。お好み焼きっぽい何かが出来上がりましたね。
It looks actually pretty good. Actually looks pretty good. It smells great. Perfectness of the look. Mine, 73. What about you?
ソースとマヨネーズ、青のりをかけて、ようやく念願のお好み焼きを初体験。さあ、お口に合うでしょうか。
Really good.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, よかったよかった。
That's really good.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's very savory.
They're very savory. There's like a slight amount of sweet.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit of sweet, but very savory.
I like the texture.
It tastes like a better like fish cake.
Oh.
I'd have to say, for me personally, it's like a 90.
I put 95.
I'd put 95.
Oh.
That's solid. That's true. It looks burnt.
Ah.
But it doesn't taste burnt at all.
It doesn't.
No.
Actually,
No. It's really good.
いやー、作るのは四苦八苦しましたが、その味には大満足。いい思い出になったとさ。続いて出会ったのは、秋葉原でガチャガチャをしていた2人。どちらからいらっしゃったんですか？
America. From Rhode Island. This is my grandma.
アメリカから来たクレオさん、おばあちゃんとの2人旅です。今日が東京で過ごす最後の日。2人は秋葉原でどうしてもやりたかったことがありました。
We want to find a better machine to take the pictures.
I want the really cute ones that you can draw on them and with the big eyes and stuff.
日本のプリントシール機で写真を撮りたい。おばあちゃんがどれだけ可愛く変身するか楽しみだというクレオさん。早速ゲームセンターへ。待つこと15分。撮影を終えた2人が戻ってきました。
かわいい。
Onsen girls.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. Lots of fun.
The eyes are very big on this one. They don't do anything like that. They're very plain.
Black and white. And it's just what you do. You can't, you know, they don't add ears or anything. You know. Boring. This is fun. Really fun. We were giggling the whole time.
おばあちゃんも大興奮。若返ったおばあちゃんがとても可愛くなったとクレオさんも大満足。そして夜の新宿駅で出会ったこちらの3人。大学の友人同士でカナダから2週間の日本旅行にやってきました。話を聞くと何やら食べたいものがあるそうで。
So we think it's sukumen, right? So you dip the noodles in broth. I think that's what I heard. You take the noodles, you dip in the broth. I'm looking forward to it. I've never had sukumen before, and I heard it's very good.
こちらのミッシェルさんがインターネットでつけ麺を見つけ、どうしても食べたいと2人を誘いました。ということで近くのつけ麺専門店へ。果たしてどんな出会いが待っているのか。
What is this? What am I looking at? Oh, okay, so this is the broth. This is the noodles. Vegetables? Okay. Oh, so spicy. I'll try spicy.
Oh, you want spicy?
彼が選んだのはラー油が効いたピリ辛のつけ麺。そして彼女は肉が苦手ということで鯛だしの塩つけ麺をチョイス。で、ミッシェルさんは王道魚介豚骨スープのつけ麺です。
So I'm getting this. I'll probably get medium. I'm hungry. Like if you go to like a ramen place in Canada, they might ask you like soft noodles firm, but they won't, or like whatever, but they won't tell you like, oh, how many noodles you want.
とそこへ店員さんが。
Okay. We have to put on the apron.
We never get this in Canada. No?
I really need this shit too. I had this like big like miso ramen, but I never had miso ramen before, and I definitely got my shirt.
We had to go to the convenience store and buy stain remover.
3人で紙エプロンをつけて待つこと10分。ついに念願のつけ麺到着です。
They're so thick.
Yeah,
that's not what I expected whatsoever.
See how thick this noodle is? I think I made a mistake getting the medium.
麺の量にびっくり。そしてミッシェルさんは。
What is that? Like right here. I don't know what that is. Take a peanut butter.
It looks like
いやこれねピーナッツバターじゃなくて魚粉ですよ魚粉。
I don't think this is. I'm mixing the broth. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is a bad idea.
つけ麺初体験。
It's like darkening up.
That's good. That's good. It's very different from mine, actually. When we're talking about flavor, right? I feel like don't know how to explain it, but I feel like a lot of the flavor comes from the broth. Like, no, it's like ramen. I feel like I focus more on the broth, but like in this case, in Tsukemen, I feel like the broth enhances the flavor of the noodles so much more. Okay.
The broth is saltier than ramen, I think. I think so, yeah. But it's nice.
I think cold is better for sure.
It tastes very fresh. It's nice, yeah.
Mine is like spicy. I don't really taste the meat too much. I taste more fish. But back home, you can't even taste when the people that eat spicy. It's so spicy. They're like drooling. It's coming out. I don't know how those people eat food. It's. I'm gonna do it.
It has a nice rich flavor.
3人とも初めてのつけ麺に大満足。でも麺をスープに移すのはちょっと難しかったようで。
Yeah, I know. That was an accident. I'm gonna be honest. How much? Your thing is I don't need to be Chris.
Look at their apron. Good to you have
the apron. It's doing work.
日本のおもてなし、紙エプロンのおかげで助かりました。そして値段の安さにもびっくり。お会計は3人で2950円。
I think in Canada that'll be for one person.
That would be for one person.
One person that price. Yeah, it was an experience. It was way different.
Honestly, for the price, it's fantastic.
日本でのつけ麺初体験は驚きの連続だったようです。今回出会った人たちは皆美味しくて面白い日本にびっくり。私たちの当たり前は外国の人にはとっても新鮮だったようです。皆さんぜひまたいらっしゃってください。See you again。また来てね。